right. Welcome, welcome. As folks are still coming in, please just drop in the chat where you're coming in from. We have um, we have folks coming in from all over the United States, possibly beyond the United States also tonight. So excited you're here. Chris, it's been a long time. Welcome. June, so lovely to see you in Moon Lodge Sunday. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Guy, my beloved brother of how many years are we at now? 1999, 30 something years. Elisa, hey, beautiful. Good to have you. Dawn, welcome. Just meeting Dawn. We had a mutual friend. We walked nearly side by side for nearly 2 decades, but just met. Great to have you. Bart, dear friend of mine from high school. Colleen, just gonna meet you, I think, and David. I met you last summer with your beautiful wife. Oh, who else do we have in? Okay, great. I know that there's a few more coming. Okay, we've got someone coming in from Neenah, Wisconsin. It's a Zoom user. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and put your name up there so we can all get to know each other. Lisa's from Amherst, Massachusetts. Um, Guys from down in that beautiful sunny Florida. Great. Okay, some of you are coming to Peru with me and with Willaroo this summer. Some of you, not sure yet, you're still considering. Um, and this is an opportunity for us to get to know one another better, for you to get to know each other better, and to also move into beautiful teaching around pilgrimage. Whether or not you're going to Peru this summer, I want this time together to be really fruitful for you. Um, and if you are going to Peru this summer, you know that we've already begun some early preparations. I've been sending out weekly emails for the last 4 weeks or so. You've been coming into our membership group, and I'm dropping some hints and tips already there. So we've already begun our preparations, and one of the really beautiful opportunities that we have when we begin to even consider taking a journey, taking an adventure in life. And that might be to the altar to get married. That might be into parenthood. That might be into a sacred space like Machu Picchu. That might be the journey of entering a new course, something you've never learned before, writing a book, moving to a new town. All of these opportunities in the life, if we approach them as sacred pilgrimage, as we approach them with the intention that our our life will be fundamentally transformed in the way that we either consciously or unconsciously set ourselves up for. So we could have, if you, let's say you were to split yourself into two people, and one of you prepared yourself fully for an experience, going out to dinner, something simple. One of you didn't prepare at all. You go have the same dinner with the same company in the same place, same food, same waiter. One of you is going to have a beautiful, profound, blissful experience. That's the one who's prepared. The one who did not prepare is going to find bumps all along the way. Challenges, tests, temptations. Some of them you'll pass, it'll be great. Some of them you'll stumble and you might fall. Um, and what I really want to bring through tonight, and I have a few ways that we're going to do that tonight together. But the first thing that I want all of you to be considering is how, and ask yourself this question, how am I preparing to go to Peru? How am I preparing to meet this deep, potent, powerful, sacred energy inherent not only at Machu Picchu, but in the Sacred Valley, in Willaroo himself, in the sacred souls of those that you'll be traveling with and alongside, in the home of the family that we'll stay with when we're on the island in the middle of Lake Titicaca. How are you going to be on the boat? How are you going to be on the bus? How are you going to be walking the trails? How are you going to how are you going to receive the the altitude distinction? How are you going to receive the food and the people and the accommodations? And how you arrive will determine your experience more than just about anything else. Now, as I say that, I want to also add that we're going to be arriving moment by moment. We're going to be arriving moment by moment. So we're not going to prepare and then just get to Peru. We're going to prepare moment by moment. Then we're going to get to Peru. We're going to get off the plane in Cusco, and it's a new moment. And we're going to prepare for the next moment, and it's a new moment. We're going to prepare for the next moment. We're going to move to our hotel and our accommodations in Cusco, but we're going to prepare for going into the Sacred Valley, and then we'll be preparing as we're experiencing the Sacred Valley. It is itself a preparation for standing in the beautiful sacred site of Machu Picchu, which is a preparation itself for moving south into Puno, which is a preparation for taking that boat ride on these sacred waters called Lake Titicaca and spending a night on an island in this very sacred heart soul of Peru. Lake Titicaca is known as the womb or the birthplace of their entire cosmology in the Inca tradition and lineage, the Quechua lineage. So from this moment forward, moment by moment, we're going to start recognizing and becoming conscious of being one with our internal wisdom, our internal love, and our internal sacred power. Also called our life force or our creative life force, our creativity, that which gives life to the life. One of the beautiful things that make this particular pilgrimage distinct is I'm a longtime Qigong practitioner and teacher, and I'll be bringing Qigong for those of you who don't know what Qigong is. Qigong is an ancient Eastern practice of energy cultivation. Qi means energy. Kong is art, or the art of cultivating energy or mastering your internal energy and how that inner energy flows out into your external energetic environment. And so each of these sacred places in Peru holds a specific vibration, a specific frequency. And we're going to learn before we even get off the plane in Cusco how to resonate, how to be aware of, how to be conscious of, how to be in alignment with, and also commune with the energies both internally and externally. And we're going to learn how to do that. And we're going to be in the presence of our energy with wisdom, with love, and with power. And we know that wisdom without love can be very dangerous. Love without wisdom can often be misguided. We know power without love or wisdom can be very dangerous. So one of the first things we'll be doing as we prepare, and we're going to do this tonight, I'm going to lead you into a beautiful practice, is we're going to be coming into attunement, at-one-ment, atonement, alignment, coherence, by whatever name you would like to give it, with our internal wisdom, our internal love, and our internal power. And when we're one with our internal wisdom, love, and power, they are one with us. We are that. We call it our higher self or our soul. And when we are in alignment with that energy, then we align very naturally and very organically with the soul of the place in which we stand. And we're naturally in alignment with the soul of those who we're traveling with. The transmission that Willaroo brings through each sacred site will come quite naturally and quite quite deeply, and our connection to the time and the space and the place will be transformative. So you probably noticed on a lot of the information that I've been sending out and on the page, I've been using a word threshold, a threshold opportunity or a threshold pilgrimage. Because in this year of 2026, many of us know it as the year of the fire horse. 2025 was a spiritual conclave, which set us up to moving into 2026. And by winter solstice of 2026, at the end of this year, we're going to there's going to be a ceiling, if you will, of the medicine, of the work, of the intention, of the power, of the clarity, of the connections that we've made through 2026. And so those things in your life that are shifting, changing, releasing, dropping away, building, amplifying, evolving, this year is moving like that fire horse with velocity and with power. And so we want to support this year as purely and as beautifully as we possibly can. And in a sacred container, guided by an elder, and I'll ask a few of you to share about Willaroo who know him, who have traveled with him, who've presented him, who've heard his teachings for decades. Um, Willaroo, you will find, is humble, he's quiet, he speaks truth. Um, he is continuously dissolving his own ego. And when we use the word ego, we talk about those negative aggregates or those parts of our personality that are harmful to ourself or the world around us. Um, he walks his talk. He's a student of the life. He doesn't consider himself a teacher or a guru or an elder or a medicine man, but he is all those things and much, much more. Um, and as we prepare our vehicles, our body, our minds, our energetic bodies, and our hearts, our emotions, to meet this sacred time, to meet this threshold, ready to walk through and be guided through and be held as we move through this threshold. So that transformation that supports the fullness of our soul's purpose is readily available to us in profound and powerful ways, in ways that it's never been readily available to us before. And so a combination of Willaroo's presence, his lineage, his wisdom, his teachings, coupled with the energy, the sacred energy and the powerful energy of these ancient sites that we'll be standing in. And having been prepared energetically, physically, mentally, and emotionally to be fully open in our minds and our hearts to receive all that is going to be on offer. This is my intention. This is my intention to gift all of this to you as we prepare to go to Cusco and Machu Picchu and Lake Titicaca and all of the moments in between. So, with that, I would just love to hear in the chat just one word in all of that. And I know that was a lot, and we only have 60 minutes, so I'm just going to give you as much as I can. One word, just drop one word in the chat. What resonates with you? What feels alive for you? What is calling you to Peru? You can answer any of those. And let me hear from all of you, each of you. And welcome, Yen is in the room and Dee has joined us. Dr. Desi, welcome. Go ahead, just start dropping a word. Emergence, Dr. Desi says. Peace, June, beautiful. Inner healing, powerful, very available. More, this is three of, I'm not sure how many in the room. We have 14 of us in the room. Just drop those words in there as I prepare to take you into a practice that has been near and dear to me for a long, long time. It's really a meditation, a prayer, an affirmation. It's many things that I practice every single morning. Guy and Michael and myself meditate in a triangle meditation together every morning at 8 a.m. But then after that, I move into a meditation that I'm going to share with you today because it's part of the preparation. Hi, Chris. Welcome. It's part of the preparation for Peru that I really want to share with you because it's powerful, um, and it's wonderment. And this, I love that word. This is wonderment, what I'm going to take you in. And Yen says, new experiences. Two words, all good, new experiences. Sacred, Beulah says. Wonderful. Okay. I'm just going to ask you now to close your eyes. Release yourself from the typing and the computer and the screen for a moment and just bring yourself into your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just so that through the mouth there can be a full exhale, a full letting go. Let go of your thoughts, let go of any tension in your body. Let go of everything that's come up into this moment. And as you inhale, just draw in the beauty and the power of this time that we have together. As you inhale, giving thanks for your life, for your body, for your wisdom, for your love, for your power. And in the depth of that gratitude, I invite you to bring your focus to your third eye, that point of light situated just between the eyebrows and back in toward the mind, the point of your internal wisdom. And steady your focus there at that point of inner light. And then bring your concentration into the temple of your heart. As you hold your focus steady in the light, simultaneously concentrate in the temple of your heart. You might feel your heart beating. You might hear your heart beating. You might recognize the presence of your love, your intuition. And as you hold this point of light and you concentrate in the temple of your heart, I want you to also become aware of an energy that begins at the base of your spine and moves its way vertebra by vertebra, ascending up and out through the crown of the head, penetrating deep into the sacred universe. Willaroo speaks about walking in self-remembering. With each step, moment by moment, we remember that we are wisdom. We remember that we are love. We remember that we are sacred and powerful beings. And as you hold steady within this container of your self-remembering, as you hold steady in light and in love and in creative power, I want you to consider your physical body as this beautiful instrument or tool that your soul is using to carry out its purpose in this lifetime. Consider that you are not your body, in fact, that you are your soul, and your soul has given you this really sacred, precious vehicle, this vessel through which it can shine its radiant light. And in this gifting, the soul simply asks of you one thing: that you steward this sacred temple called your body in an impeccable way. Impeccable not meaning perfect, not meaning perfect discipline every day, but impeccably meaning attention to detail, meaning with care and consciousness and compassion. And now bring your attention to your mental body. And recognize also your mental body as a gift from your soul. Also, a tool through which your soul can shine its radiant light, can carry out its purpose in the world. And that a primary function of this mental body that you've been gifted is to hold steady, to hold the mind steady in the light so that it can guide you toward the light. However you define light. So you are not your mind. You are a soul that uses this mental body to carry out its purpose. And next, consider your emotional body. And again, recognizing that you're not your emotional body. You might feel emotions, and you do feel emotions, and yet you are not your emotions. But your soul has given you this emotional body so that you can radiate through your emotional body its essence. And the essence of the soul, my teachers tell me, is joy, the vibration, the frequency of joy. And so you've been given an emotional body so that you can radiate the frequency of joy. And next, bring your attention to your energetic body. Recognizing that your soul has given you also this energetic body. You are not your energy. Your energy is an extension, an expression of your soul. And your energetic body, or your aura, called by many, many names, your etheric body, is a filter that holds energetic experiences, all our experiences, this lifetime, past lifetimes, if you believe in past lifetimes, future lifetimes, dual universes, that we hold information and experience as energetic imprints on our energy body. And the only thing our soul asks of us is to steward our energetic body as well, and to purify it, to keep it clear, so that the energy of the soul can move freely and easily through it. And so that you can receive energetic impressions from the world around you that are pure, from, from sacred sites such as Machu Picchu, from a beloved partner, from a trusted spiritual elder, that you can receive energetic imprint that gives you guidance and love. So in that, I'm just going to ask you to repeat after me. As you're holding steady, one with your internal wisdom, love, and power, simply repeat after me. I am light. I am not this physical body. This physical body is a gift. This physical body is in service to my soul. This physical body is the sacred temple of my soul. I am grateful for this rare and precious physical temple. And today, I pledge to steward this physical body in a good way, moment by moment. I am light. I am not this etheric body. This etheric body is a gift. This etheric body is in service to my soul. This etheric body is a filter for purification and an energetic resource for healing, renewal, and communion. I am grateful for the radiance of this etheric body. Today, I pledge to steward this etheric body in a good way, moment by moment. I am light. I am not this emotional body. This emotional body is a gift. This emotional body is in service to my soul. My emotions are simply a vehicle to express the divine nature of my soul, which is joy. I am grateful for the opportunity to express as the divine. Today, I pledge to steward this emotional body in a good way, moment by moment. I am light. I am not this mental body. This mental body is a gift. This mental body is in service to my soul. This mental body is a navigator. It navigates my mental focus toward the light. I am grateful for the opportunity to think as light, as loving, compassionate, intelligent kindness. Today, I pledge to steward this mental body in a good way, moment by moment. I am light. I am light. I am light. And just breathe with that. And take a moment and just simply recognize in your own inner world, what is your definition of light? Maybe you resonate with the word light. Maybe you resonate with I am light. You might resonate with I am love. You might resonate with I am energy. You might resonate with I am divine. You might resonate with I am fill in the blank. I am soul. And then take a long, deep cleansing breath. And then just please share in the chat. What is your word? It may be light, but it may be something else. It may not be my word, it may be your word. But I would love to get to know you and your expression of light, your expression of the divine, your expression of energy. So let me just see a few words in the chat. As you drop those in, this goes on. It has a few more components, this meditation, I am light. And what it helps me do and I'm hoping it is going to help you do is each day begin the day recognizing that part of our responsibility, in my belief and opinion, is to steward the gifts that we've been given, to steward our bodies, our minds, our emotions, and our energetic bodies in a good way so that we can exude health and happiness and radiance. And for me, that's an expression of wisdom. It's certainly an expression of self-love, but also the love I give to my family and my partner and my children and my students and my clients and the world around me. And when I begin each day, remembering that it's my responsibility to steward my body, my mind, my emotions, and my energy. And when I begin each day remembering that I am light, remembering that I'm wisdom, that I'm love, that I'm sacred, divine, creative power, then the rest of my day, moment by moment, unfolds in alignment with Source, in alignment with the cosmic sun. So this journey to the cosmic sun, this journey to Machu Picchu is a journey into our self-remembering, into remembering that we are light. And some of you said that you define light as energy, as bliss, as life, as kindness, as empowerment, as stardust, as stillness. Beautiful. And so as we journey to Peru, to these sacred sites, to Willaroo, we're going to be cultivating these energies. We're going to be cultivating bliss. We're going to be cultivating life. We're going to be cultivating kindness. We're going to be cultivating power. We're going to be cultivating stardust as we meditate in the higher dimensions. We're going to be cultivating stillness moment by moment as we walk these ancient paths through these sacred resonance sites, led by someone who I'm very excited to say has joined us just to pop in and allow us to meet him. For those of us who have not met Willaroo, he's in the house. I'm going to bring him up. He just dropped in very briefly to welcome you, to bless us. And so, Willaroo and Raphael, I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to just unpin
Hola.
myself. Just a moment to unpin myself um, so I can get you up on the screen. Hold on 1 second.
Happy to see you. I am um, the revolution, eternal revolution, holistic revolution, sacred revolution, ecological too, and very without any money. I mean, it's ecological. Ah, well, welcome to Machu Picchu, our ancient mystical school, initiation school to get spiritual education directed to the consciousness, like it was always like that from the Lemurian time. um, I'm very glad that to see you coming back to this school of the avatars of the Aquarian age. So that's an objective way to we learn to teach always. We learn to teach. We learn to heal, to integrate, and to teach with the others. Because that's part of the master. We heal our mind and the body, obey to the mind. Uh, we also heal the karma from the past lives because became to be everything became to be ¿cómo se dice? Por generación, genetically. But in this time, all that genetic ego, karma, it can be clean. We can get rid of all of that moment by moment, day by day, living in the light and love. Uh, so that's since we are still alive, the avatars of the Aquarian age left all this knowledge of salvation. When we practice the knowledge, we save ourselves, we integrate, we save from every single ego, every single problem. And that's forever. And that's the objective way to get spiritual education. detail, detail by detail. Um, well, I'm sure that uh, are coming very revolutionary students with you, revolution of the consciousness, of course. Um, so that's great. If we want to do something for our country, the best is to do for ourselves first, because salvation is not for the flag, it's not for the country, it's for individual. But when every individual live in that country or this country is is a second life being. Uh, the divine law can save also the region, the city, your region in that area, this because there's very important people in that area, in that city, so it's great protection. But we have to be very strong with the internal father, mother, with our intimate Christ, individual Christ. Um, that's connected to the cosmic sun Christ, and as well to the historical Christ, the avatars who who said always, I will be with you when you need me. So that was the word of the Samael Auveor before he ascends. I will be with you whenever you need me. Um, get in contact with me anytime, special every Tuesday, to receive the ray of the protection from the planet Mars. Planet Mars. So that's we can gain all that points as practicing all this sacred knowledge. Every single topic is a tool, is a weapon to defend ourselves, to know. A little by little, we become to be interplanetary citizenship, another civilization, another science. But we still need to live in this, with this civilization, all the way to the end until we can make it, practicing special dying and dying with all those um, egos. Also with the beloved egos who make us, who give us a lot of fun. Oh, much love to you and to Tierney and to everyone who is.
Oh, thank you so much for coming tonight and sharing some time with us. So good to see you. The time is coming. We'll be there soon. Thank you, Willow. So beautiful. Thank you. This that you'll see Will Rue do quite a bit, and me and Guy and those of us and Chris, Aho. This is the three, what I just spoke of. It's the wisdom, the love, and the power. And if you go back through religious art, you will see many saints, masters, the Master Jesus, the Buddha, many traditions, Hindu. You'll see this. And if you've ever wondered what that is, you're going to see it all the time now. If you never noticed before, it's like when you buy a car now, that same car is everywhere, is driving everywhere. Now you're going to see this a lot, and it's a distinction of it's called the Great White Lodge or the hierarchy of light, and it's just simply a way like namaste. My higher self recognizes your higher self. My internal wisdom, love, and divine power. We recognize that we are students of the divine life, students of the mystery school. And so that's its essence, the meaning of its essence. But just be on the lookout for it now. You'll see it coming up. And I just wrote down as Willaroo was just dropping teachings and truth and wisdom. And for some of you who've not met him before, it may have been a little challenging for you to decipher his words. He speaks four languages, Guy, maybe five, four for sure: German, Quechua, Spanish, English. Maybe there's one more, I'm not sure. Um, but he speaks English well, and one of the things we're going to learn to do before we even get to Peru is tune our ear so that you can capture everything that he's speaking. And part of that capture is we're gonna slow the mind down so that we can be in his cadence, which is slower. He often speaks with his eyes closed. This is one of the first times I've seen him actually teach and be with us with his eyes open. And that's so that he describes it that he's one with his internal wisdom, love, and power. You heard him refer to it as his internal father, his internal mother, and his internal God, his father, mother, God. Also light, love, creative life force. Again, by many names. This is the synthesis. Sorry, talking a lot. Of all the traditions. But I'm going to recap that in a moment when I can talk again. Chris, will you come up for just a moment and share for about a minute your experience with Willaroo and specifically, like, what changed in you when you met him, worked with him, walked with him?
Um, you're speaking to me. Yeah,
No, Chris Farker. Chris.
very good, very good.
Yeah. Chris, Chris Bond, you haven't met him yet. That would be a terrible invitation, wouldn't it? Put you on the spot.
Well, it is on the spot for sure. Um, Putting these transcendent experiences into words is challenging. Um, I met, and I say his name Wilaru. That's how I met you, Wilaru, and it's just stayed with me to say it like that. I met him a long time ago in the 90s in Florida, and then came together, not planned, in Machu Picchu as condors flew overhead. And I was pregnant at the time, and I didn't realize it. My husband was with me. And Vilaro guided us through amazing ceremony and moments in the sacred mountain there. And never forget, never forget. And then moving through time to 2014 as an astrologer, someone who reads the stars, I knew something that was coming in 2014. And it was confirmed by other cross-referencing. And Milaro came to the mountains, the double mountains. The Spanish Peaks, also known as the breasts of the world in Comanche in 2014. And we gathered the people, and Milaro held the space and guided us in immense, incredible ways that none of us have forgotten. And we hold that time very sacred and special in our hearts, as we know that he helped call the Apu, the spirits of the mountains, in to that place in Colorado. And no one has been the same since those moments. Very, very special. And then moving more into time, when was it? Walaro came out to California when I was living there. I'm now living in Oregon. But the pilgrimage was done, and we touched many hearts. Walaro has a way of uniting being in source, and everyone just gets it. He has that in his field. He has always spoken of the Christ, always spoken of the Christ, and that is the inner Christ that I hold dear. And he knew from day one that this is the way. And he has a magic of uniting earth and sky and time into the moment, the here and now, and expands us in ways that there are really no words. His humbleness and trueness as a human being is remarkable. You just never ever forget the man. His walk is a blessing to all in these times, and these times are huge, as you know. And to now think that Willaroo can guide more people, and in his homelands is absolutely powerful and a gift for all of life at this time. And blessings, Willaroo. So good to see you. And thank you for your walk, your teachings, your beauty, your trueness, your love. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Chris,
Yeah.
for taking that moment for all of us to hear your words. So through Chris's share, some of you who are new into this circle, when we hear a testimony that someone has walked with an elder or with a teacher for decades, 20 years, 30 years, that their life has not been the same. Even after all of this time, the reflection is still so pure, so deep, so connected. All of us who've walked with Willaroo have this similar experience. And so the invitation is simply to invite all of you also who haven't walked with Willaroo, who haven't had the opportunity to hear these teachings. He spoke about interplanetary citizenship and healing karma and genetic clearing and the revolution of the consciousness, and that that we learn as revolutionary students, detail by detail, topic by topic, moment by moment. Um, the practice of knowledge in in the pursuit of our own salvation is the only way that we can really save our country, save our town, our city, our country, the world, this planet going forward. And as we each take responsibility for our stewardship of the self, the inner self, as well as the outer self, little by little, the world, this earth, one another, our families, our communities, our countries will be stewarded. If I steward me and you all steward you and everybody stewarding their own little piece of land upon which they live, will be on a healed and healthy and pure and clean planet. Um, and so it's a beautiful calling and opportunity to prepare in a conscious way for arriving to a teacher, to a guide, to an elder, in such a way that we can fully receive um, not only the transmission of the teachings themselves, but of the Apu. Chris spoke of the Apu. The Apu is the spirit of the mountains. What Willaroo does for us, why we travel with Willaroo rather than without Willaroo to these sacred sites, is he opens the doorways at each sacred site because he has created a relationship and he is in relationship with the energies and the masters of each and every one of those sacred sites. And so the only, not the only way, but the most efficient and effective and powerful way that we can come into communion and resonance immediately with those sacred energies that are going to heal us and teach us and evolve us and expand us is with one who is already in relationship with with that with that site, each and every site. So it's an honor, it's a privilege. I'm super excited. I'm excited to take all of you with me, those of you who are coming, those of you who are still not sure if you're coming or not. What As we begin to close tonight, we have a few more minutes, but one of the things I really want, I invite you to hold is how you're preparing moment by moment for this life that you've been given. And each and every moment is a pilgrimage. Each time you come to dinner, it's a pilgrimage to that sacred food that we've been given by the Earth Mother. Each time you step outside to garden under the sun, it's a pilgrimage to commune with this cosmic sun of light and warmth that gives light to the light gives life to the life. Um, each time we go to the grocery store or to work or to pick up our kids from school or however your life unfolds, if we recognize that we're on a sacred pilgrimage with each and every breath. And on sacred pilgrimage, if our physical body is strong and healthy, if our mind is clear and resonant with light, if our emotions are quiet so that the joy of our soul can shine through, and if our energy is coherent and resonant with the highest possible vibration that we can attain at the time, knowing that we're continuously evolving, continuously expanding. The beautiful thing that I know about Willaroo and about all of you who I know well in this community, one of the things that I can say about all of us is that we really hold one another where we're at. There's no expectation, there's no judgment, there's no one of the things that I've been leading a women's circle Moon Lodge, the Ancient Mother Moon Lodge, for 23 years. Every month we gather, and an absolute non-negotiable tenet of my circle is there's just simply no gossiping, there's no negativity. There's if there is issue, come directly to me and we'll find a solution and we'll clear that energy. And one of the things, if you can go back and watch the recording from the last time that we did a Zoom together, but when I went in 2018 and Guy was with me and Michael Howley and Carolyn, one of the beautiful things, and I spoke more about it last time, but I just want to touch on it again tonight. One of the beautiful things that we all felt, along with Willaroo, is that we were all incredibly taken care of by one another. And if someone needed something and they didn't have it in their backpack, someone else had it. Someone was hungry, we ate. If someone was tired, we slowed down and we stopped and we rested. If someone needed water, someone had an extra bottle of water nearby. And so, one of the things in preparation that we're going to cultivate is not only a vehicle, our own personal vehicle, but we're going to cultivate a group dynamic before we ever arrive in Cusco. That's really beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And we know that in this age of Aquarius, and Willaroo is going to teach on this when we're in Peru. We've moved from the Piscean age, which was a time of we could call it the focus on one way, one truth, one Messiah, in isolation. So we awakened our consciousness in isolation. We went onto a mountain. We went into a cave. We went into personal meditation, and that was important and evolutionary in its time. But we've moved into this age of Aquarius, which is about the awakening of group consciousness. As opposed to the awakening of individual consciousness, we're awakening in group consciousness. And this is a much more challenging task because relationships, and it's in the second step. Valerie is going to talk about the second step and relationship with other, either a significant other or a parent or a child, but that relationship with other, which brings out sometimes, not always, but sometimes not the best in us. And then we've got to dissolve our ego in relation to other. And one of the things that we're going to cultivate over the next 17 weeks, I'm counting, we have 17 weeks before we arrive in Cusco, is a really beautiful, sacred, cosmic family. A group dynamic where we're loving each other, taking care of each other, keeping each other healthy and present and accountable to all that we're going to be gifted on this journey. And uh, with that, I'm very happy to take a few questions before we close. If there's anything that Willaroo expressed that you didn't quite understand, we're in the coming weeks. We're going to go deeply into the teachings that Willaroo is going to share with us, so you have a context once we're there for all that he's going to share. The mind is already going to have a lot of knowingness and a lot of knowledge, so that as Willaroo shares, you can be fully present to the energetic and sacred transmission that's happening at each of the sacred sites. So don't worry if you didn't understand everything. When I've told this story, you'll hear this story maybe many times, but I'm going to share it. When I first met Willaroo in 2001, and I went down to Peru and I hiked the Inca Trail for 4 days, and it was after that that Willaroo sat with me. Um, we were at breakfast my last morning in Cusco, and for about 2.5 hours, Willaroo just shared. He just taught. He just spoke. And he spoke and he taught and he shared and it was all flowing at me. And my mind, I didn't know what he was talking about. Like it was just like it was just flying right past me. I couldn't land. But I knew, my soul knew that he was speaking truth. My mind didn't understand and comprehend every word, every concept, every teaching because he dropped a lot in those 2 hours. But my soul resonated with the truth of what he was saying. And at the very end, he closed, little small talk. He happened to say, and he didn't know me really at all at the time, but he was coming to New York and then up to Canada to do a teaching pilgrimage, but he didn't know anyone in New York and he was going to be landing at the airport and didn't know anyone there and wasn't quite sure how he was going to navigate. And I said, well, It just so happens I live in New York City, and I could pick you up at the airport, and one thing led to another, and I was able to set up some teaching lectures for him in New York City, and we went up into Canada, and this was 25 years ago, and I've been walking with Willaroo ever since, and I continue to learn. I we've we've driven around the United States in RVs and up to Canada, and I've been to Peru several times. And every time I sit with him, whether he's teaching on the same topic or not, there's something new that I didn't hear before. There's something deeper that lands and resonates. There's something more for me to understand or comprehend or move more deeply into or more clearly align with. And so if you're not understanding everything that's happening here tonight, I say, don't worry about it. If this is the Willaroo says the mind doesn't know. I hear him say this so many times, the mind doesn't know, the mind doesn't know. But your soul will know. And if your soul knows already it's coming to Peru with us this summer, you've probably already registered, and many of you are here with me tonight. If your soul is feeling called to come down to Peru this summer, it's particularly special and powerful because the teaching that we talk about is the cycles of seven. And every 7 years, there's a threshold, there's a moment of transformation. 7 years old, 14 years old, 21 years old, we take our rite of passage. And Willaroo is going to be taking his 77th cycle while we're there with him in Peru. So for me, it's a grand honor to be with my teacher, with my spiritual papa, with my mentor, and to honor him on this very sacred and special day and celebrate his life and all that he's given to so many of us. So I'm super excited. I would love to hear if there's any questions. There's a raise your hand at the bottom right in the center of your screen. If you just click on that, I'll see your hand raised, and I'll call on you, and and you can come up, or you can drop a question in the chat. Um,
I
I
can't
just want
find it. I unmuted my, I can't find it.
That's all right, Brenda. Go on, girl. What's your question?
Okay, we have a meeting that we need to talk about. I was just wondering, did you send out what we need to talk about during that meeting and how to formulate our thoughts, intentions and whatever?
Oh, the meeting with me, you
Yes.
mean? Oh, yeah. It's no, there's no sort of questionnaire to be answered before you come. But I would invite you, especially after tonight, and if any of you who missed part of the presentation, it will be recorded. I'll send out the link. You can go back and revisit this again and listen again. But however I can help you prepare, whatever that means to you. I've had one so far, and we talked a lot about just physical preparation. How is the physical body going to do in altitude? The strength of the body for walking. We're not going to hike the Inca Trail like I did when we first went. It's not going to be so rigorous that you can't do the walks or the hikes at the sacred sites. Um, but we will want to talk about, altitude and food and hydration if physicality is a concern for you. It might be preparing your emotional body or your mental body or your energetic body or your spiritual alignment or your family or what happens when you go to Peru and then you come back after. So there's two opportunities to be with me at a minimum. And one will be on the backside of the trip because what I found when I've been to Peru, each of the times coming back from that highly refined vibration of sacred site and deep sacred teachings, and being with Willaroo for those 2 weeks, the reintegration time into this heavier, more dense vibration in North America and all of our responsibilities at home and work, um, a bridge needs to be built. And we want to be able to cross that bridge with ease and with grace. And so I'm here to help you prepare to go into this sacred vibration, of Machu Picchu, but I'm also here to help you reintegrate and take all that you've learned and all that's transformed in you and changed, and how do you move that into your daily life, moment by moment. It may sound easy, but it requires consciousness, and we're going to become very conscious on this journey. And we want to remain conscious when we come home, and we don't want to return to old ways of being that we left behind. All the ego, all the unconsciousness, the kinds of choices we were making that didn't serve our soul's purpose, or the evolution of this planet toward a planet of light and love. So you can come to those sessions with me with whatever is on your heart and your mind, and I'm just here to simply support you and help you in any way that I can. And as I said in our last time together, and I'll continue to say, my role here is really to support each of you in having the most magnificent, magical, evolutionary experience that you could possibly have. And so, ask, lean in. I'm here for you. I'm here to facilitate that. And I hope that answers your question, Brenda. Kathy's dropped in the chat. Thank you. It was lovely to meet you, Willaroo, and hear more, Diana. She needs to head to a meeting. We are just a few minutes past time. I don't see anyone with their hands up. I'm not seeing any additional questions in the chat. We are going to gather more on Zoom. I'll probably have at least one more Zoom gathering similar to this one, but on a different topic. This was about pilgrimage, and not only how to prepare for pilgrimage, but what pilgrimage is, and that life is essentially a pilgrimage. So hopefully you were able to glean some of those morsels from our time together. I'll have another Zoom with another topic, but then I will close open registration, and I'll begin to meet with just the group that are going to Peru, so that we can begin to prepare fully as a group in all the ways, and deepen this experience before we even arrive in Cusco. And I'm really excited to do that with you, and for you, and to do this with and for my beloved teacher, my beloved elder, my beloved Papa, Wilaru Hoita. And thank you again, Papa, for coming tonight, and sharing your wisdom and your teachings and your presence with us. And with that, reach out to me. If you have any questions that come to you as you sleep tonight or tomorrow morning, if you have not registered yet for Peru, I see you, June. I'll bring you up in just a moment. If you've not registered yet for Peru, please just reach out to me directly. You have my email because you're on here tonight, so you got my email. So just email me and say, I want to talk more about it. You don't have to be absolutely sure that you want to go. I would just love to sit and hear your thoughts and support you in any way that I can. So with that, I'll take a few questions for those who would like to stay back. But that concludes what I would like to present tonight. June, I'll answer your question in just a moment, but I want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you for coming. Chris, thank you for sharing your words and your heart and your experience. Um, I just, I love you. I love you all. Some of you I don't know very well yet, but I'm feeling you through this, uh, through this beautiful energetic screen that we're sharing. And I just really appreciate your time and your energy tonight and being present and your listening. And from my wisdom, my love, and my creative power, divine power, to each of you, blessings on your evening, your journey until I meet with you and see you again. Oh,